Hello everyone and welcome to the Snack Bar where you get your weekly bites. Oh wait, hang on. Where you sometimes get your weekly bites of everything movies, but I feel like changing it to maybe something more of a local spice because you are you're very into the local stuff anyway, right?
I'm
You know all the
actually not.
happenings.
I
Oh,
I know
well.
some.
Oh,
Yeah, but like
all
I've
right.
stayed far away from Lulu the movie.
Oh, well, I think everyone has. How well is it that doing? Do you know?
I think it's doing quite well. Actually, my colleague liked it. He gave it 3.5 stars, which I was very surprised by.
Okay. Okay, so anyway, this week we're gonna talk about a young child who travels across the sea to save the home island and the world from an impending doom. And no,
Also,
I am not talking about the Wind Waker, and no one will get that reference because almost no one plays Zelda here.
I kind of get that reference.
Yeah. But before we talk about that, Jedd, you've done something very interesting this week. You want to talk about
I
that
have.
and the sightings that we've seen in Singapore, like a Bigfoot, as you would say.
Yeah, alright. So, what Gerry is referring to, also, by the way, hi, I'm Jedd, and she's Gerry. I don't think we introduced ourselves at the top of the show.
Yeah.
That's okay. Well, what Gerry is referring to is I made this Facebook post that Jennifer Lawrence is in Singapore and people have been talking about sightings of her as if she's Bigfoot. And the reason she's in Singapore, it's not in any official capacity, is because she's here with her boyfriend Darren Aronofsky. And Darren Aronofsky gave a masterclass talk at the Singapore International Film Festival, which I was fortunate enough to attend, and I really enjoyed. It was really deep. He went quite in depth into his career. There were good questions asked in the crowd, and the moderator, Ken Kwek, the director of Unlucky Plaza, did an excellent job moderating, asked some very intelligent questions, including some about censorship and artistic freedom and things like that. And he talked a little bit about his experiences, Aronofsky did, working with actors. He said that he was convinced Mickey Rourke wanted to kill him. And he had particular praise for Natalie Portman, whom he called very honest and straightforward and said that there's no drama about her. So he directed her to an Oscar in Black Swan.
It was a fantastic movie too.
Yeah, that Black Swan is... The wonderful thing about Aronofsky is that even when he makes these big budget movies, they're still weird. So he still retains that indie art house sensibility that he had all the way since Pi, and then Requiem for a Dream is weird, and The Fountain is super weird. Black Swan is weird, and no $125 million blockbuster is weird as well. So at one point of time, he was attached to a Batman Year One movie, and he was also going to direct The Wolverine, and he was one of the names in consideration for Watchmen. So I asked him, the question I asked during the question and answer session was whether or not he would feel compelled to enter the world of superhero movies. And he said that there are so many superhero movies, he feels that it's already been done very well, and he's not sure what he could add, but he says that he really enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy. That's an interesting one. A lot of filmmakers, Steven Spielberg, list Guardians of the Galaxy as their favorite.
Because it's different, I guess.
Yeah, he said that he liked the tone of it. And he also said that he views Black Swan as a superhero movie and The Wrestler as a superhero movie in their own way, which I do agree with that statement. Yeah, Black Swan is kind of like a superhero movie.
It feels more like a comic book movie than a superhero movie.
Yeah, in the broader terms, you're correct. So yeah, that was Darren Aronofsky, and the other Hollywood person in town was James Marsden.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was here for to promote the season finale of Westworld, which I'm obligated to tell you airs tomorrow at 10 a.m. on HBO, simulcast same time as the US. So if you are free on a Monday morning for some reason, that's what you can do.
I don't have HBO.
Yeah, so that was fun. I didn't get to do a one-on-one, but I did get to join a roundtable. And HBO is nice enough to let us actually take photos, which normally you don't get to. So someone brought her DVD of X-Men 2 and he signed it happily. And I got him to pose with my action figure of Cyclops, which I threw a cowboy hat on to make it relevant to Westworld. So that photo exists.
Yeah, I mean... I'm not. I think I missed the figurine, but I did see you taking a picture with him. So I assume it's in that picture, right?
Yeah, he's holding like a little Cyclops from X2. He said, "I remember that toy."
Did he say anything about it?
He kind of like chuckled with recognition, and he said, "I remember that toy." So I'm sure that like Toy Biz probably mailed him a free one.
Okay, that's cool. Did
Yeah.
you watch any movies this week?
I did. Well, it's been, I think, two weeks since we last did an
Oh
episode.
yeah.
I'll talk about these two Oscar movies which I watched. I watched Lion, starring Dave Patel and Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
I think that was good. It's based on a true story. So it's about this guy named Saru Birli who, when he was 5 years old, he comes from a province in India and he accidentally got on a train that separated him 1,200 km from his family. So he ended up in Calcutta as a 5-year-old, not speaking the language, completely lost. So he eventually gets put into a government home for abandoned children and is adopted by the Brearleys, an Australian couple from Tasmania. So that's played by Nicole Kidman and David Wenham. So 20 years later, as an adult, Saru wants to trace his roots and find out whether his mother, his brother, his sister are still alive. And one of his classmates at university suggests he use this new software called Google Earth to calculate the speed of the train and where his home could have been. So together with his girlfriend played by Rooney Mara, he sort of undertakes this quest to figure out where his real family is. At the same time, he wants to keep it a secret so as not to hurt his adoptive parents.
Yeah. That sounds like an amazing story.
It's incredible. Yeah, I was really blown away by how much of it is true when I went to read up on it after watching the movie.
I'm glad Dave Patel is getting work, even though he did Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like, that was terrible. But he wasn't the worst part in it. But I was so scared because after he was in that, I was so worried that Hollywood wouldn't hire him again.
Right,
but I'm glad he's getting these small indie films to do.
And I think also the UK, like he was in The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel, which is a UK movie, and he's from the UK, so he could still go back and do some UK movies. And he had like a what's it called, a regular role on The Newsroom, which was an HBO drama.
Oh, okay.
And last
year, HBO.
It's by the creator of The West Wing, Aaron Sorkin. Yeah, so he was like I don't know whether he was a reporter. I didn't watch the show, but I think he was like the social media expert in the office. He came last year to promote the film he did about the mathematician.
Yeah.
In The Man Who Knew Infinity, and he was saying that he did Slumdog Millionaire, and almost immediately after that was nominated for a Razzie Award for Last Airbender. So he was humble enough to acknowledge that, and he was actually really down to earth and really charming, and I liked the perspective that he took on his career and talking about stereotyping and things. He said that when he arrived in LA, the producers thought he literally had won $1 million, and he was like, no dude, I'm from London. It's kind of similar to Michelle Yeoh's story about people being very impressed that she could speak English when she took meetings in LA, and she said, it's a 13-hour flight I learned on the way here. It's such a boss move.
And what's the other Oscar bait film that you want to talk about?
The other Oscar bait film is La La Land, which...
Oh, well, I heard that one is amazing. I can't wait to watch it. I love musicals.
It's my favorite thing of the year. I'm gonna overhype this like nuts. Officially, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I think that a lot of the things you wanted out of Sing Street, you will get out of La La Land. I'm not gonna give away too much. I'm just gonna say that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. As someone who has been to LA brag, I will tell you that LA is not the most romantic city in the world, present day LA, but they make it so gorgeous. The use of color, the use of lighting, and the way they dress all of the scenes, and how they really bring that feel of the old-fashioned musicals. It's very much a throwback to Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers type movie musicals. So the concept of Damien Chazelle was he wanted to take a classic movie musical, but he wanted to smash it into the real world, so people have real world problems.
Okay. I wanted to ask you whether it's a happy ending or not, but I realized that there'll probably be a spoiler.
That's a huge spoiler, but
I just hope it's happy. I hate it when musicals like this, they sound so happy, but in the end, the girl and the guy, they don't get together.
I'm not gonna say anything.
It's probably that. I just know it. I have that feeling. Who's the director again?
Damien Chazelle.
He did Whiplash?
He did Whiplash.
Was it?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Oh, Whiplash was my favorite film of that year.
Oh, okay. That's cool. He co-wrote 10 Cloverfield Lane, and then he
my other favorite film of the year.
And
Oh, second, I guess.
he wrote this movie called Grand Piano, which I'm not sure if you have watched. It's kind of an interesting little thriller starring Elijah Wood. So
I've heard of that, but I didn't watch it.
I would kind of recommend it. I don't think it's a good ending, but I love the premise, which is this concert pianist finds a threatening note in his music score, and if he plays one wrong note, a sniper will shoot him. So he has to pretend that everything is normal in the middle of a concert playing the hardest piece of his career, while there's a sniper in the wings of the theater waiting to kill him. Yeah.
That actually sounds really good. I did not know that was the premise of the film.
The logline was Speed with a concert pianist, which is an insane logline. And it is like a great pitch. So Damien Chazelle is absolutely going places. I think he's super young. He's like 29 or 30 or something hideous like that. So yeah, La La Land is amazing. And they did stuff like there's a scene which is set in a cable car, and the Angels Flight cable car closed down in 2013. So they got it running for one day to shoot that scene. There's like dedication, and all of the dancing is insane. Like neither Emma Stone nor Ryan Gosling are professional dancers, so they took a long time to get it right, and they only had a very small window of magic hour to do the numbers and things like that. So it's very ambitious. I think the songs are beautiful. The songs are by Pasek and Paul, who wrote I Get Back Up Again from Trolls. So,
oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I really like that song.
The songs in this movie are really good. I feel like any one of the songs could be an Oscar winner. Like,
would you say that the songs here are better than the ones in Sing Street?
That's a tough question. Yeah,
I still love the Sing Street songs.
The Sing Street songs,
I listen to them constantly.
I think the Sing Street songs are more memorable in that they are specifically of an era, so you associate them in your head with a particular era. This one, it's set in the present day, so even though the music has certain throwbacks in the style, is a bit Broadway-ish, it's not strictly Broadway style numbers. The way that Sing Street was very much referencing Duran Duran and Aha and bands like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So that's.
I'm definitely watching this.
That's all. Yeah.
It feels like it's everything that I want except for a bad ending, which I know is gonna happen. But it's a love story. It's a musical. It has freaking Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone in it. And Emma Stone, she's like a goddess to me. She can do anything.
She's crazy perfect. And I think the original casting was Miles Teller and Emma Watson.
Oh, that explains why the girl is so perfect.
But I can't imagine Miles Teller being nearly as charming as Ryan Gosling.
I think they had an upgrade, honestly.
Yeah, me too. I'll tell you that. Yeah, and I think that the character that Emma Stone plays, she's supposed to be this aspiring actress who just continuously can't get through all of the auditions, and she's very demoralized by that. I think that Emma Stone would do that better than Emma Watson. I feel that Emma Stone is a little bit more likable in a sense. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's good. Sorry, I cut you off.
I'll definitely watch this.
Okay.
I've heard so many good things. I just hope it lives up to expectations, but it does sound like everything I want.
Yeah, I am aware that I'm crazy overhyping this, like I overhyped Sing Street. But
don't worry. Like I've heard, you're not the only one hyping this film out. Like every social media I follow, they say, "Oh man, La La Land, that's like the best film of the year." And one of my friends, he managed to watch it at the Vancouver Film Festival.
Oh,
or
awesome.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, La La Land, that's the thing. That's the film of the year." I'm like, "Okay, that's great. 4 more months to go for me." So finally.
Oh, you caught it at the festival screening.
Yeah.
Oh, that's lucky.
Yeah, that's very lucky. Well, I want to talk about a film that I saw on Netflix. I didn't know this was out on Netflix, but it's also one of those films that has been going around the festivals, and I've heard like it's really crazy. It's called Tickled. Have you heard of it?
Oh, yes, it's a documentary about competitive tickling.
Yes. Or is there more? So it's about this couple of reporters who go around trying to find out what this tickling competition is about. And the more they dig deep into it, the more sinister they realize it is. And it's very, very interesting. I really love the film. Like, it feels like it feels typical, but at the same time, the subject matter is very interesting in how it unfolds and what are the disgusting things that happen during the tickling competition and how the competitors, are being, I don't want to give it away, but the competitors have to deal with the effects after competing in it. And I think that's very interesting. And come on, the topic itself, it's so interesting. Like, what's this tickling competition about? Oh, there's actually something darker going on. And I really recommend it.
Yeah, it's a stranger than fiction sort of scenario.
Have you seen it yet?
No, I've not seen Tickled.
Well, it's on Netflix. You should check it out. It's like, I think 1.5 hours long, so it's just alright.
Okay, yeah, I've heard good things about it as well. But
Like, it's not amazing, but it is very interesting.
I've heard one review though that says that it seems like it's been manipulated to fit into a narrative, which I think happens to a lot of documentaries. Did you feel that it was kind of like maybe they were pushing an angle of the story more for it to be interesting?
Yeah, definitely, because the reporters who were trying to dig deep into what's going on, they themselves got caught up personally with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that it's very biased towards them.
I see.
Yeah, it's kind of like what's the Netflix documentary that came out that everyone loved? Making a Murderer, is it?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's something like that where it feels very one-sided and there's a clear villain in this picture.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, we don't know the full story, but from what we've been told, it is kind of disgusting. So yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like it could be pretty disturbing.
It is quite disturbing.
And like kind of insidiously so, like you don't expect it to be. So yeah, Tickled so that's your recommendation from you for Tickled.
Yeah, and the thing is, you don't have to watch it in cinemas. You can just watch it at home
on Netflix
when you're working or something.
So to close out the segment of movies we've watched,
watch
week,
all of them.
Don't watch Underworld Blood Wars.
Oh yes, okay.
Oh, this made me so sad. Now, I mean, I wasn't expecting it to be great, of course, but I'm like, anything with Kate Beckinsale in it, I'm gonna give it a chance because I love Kate Beckinsale. This is so crap. It's really, really bad, and it's the first film in the series with a female director. So it's I was hoping for there to be some sort of a fresh perspective, but she is basically just dutifully copying the style of Len Wiseman. So everything is smothered in that bluish grey filter, and the story makes no sense. They
like always.
Yeah, they do have Lara Palmer being quite a fun femme fatale villain though. She was Sherlock she was Irene Adler in Sherlock.
Okay.
Yeah, so she has fun like being the vampire traitor lady who is trying to get Kate Beckinsale killed. Her sidekick in this is Theo James, 4 from Divergent, and he's so stiff. He's just really, really wooden. He's one of those
pretty boys.
Yeah, kinda, and I call him like budget James Franco because that's who he strikes me as the most. So they have no chemistry. They're not supposed to be romantically involved, but at least you should have some chemistry if he's your partner or he's your protege that is running around with you. And they have this detour where they go to visit the Nordic cave vampires, and it looks like a bad theme park. And everyone,
theme park.
Yeah, because it's ice caves, and so all the vampires. This is like this very secluded tribe of vampires who live in ice caverns, and the ice caves look like a theme park. Like the sets don't look convincing, and the action, there's nothing really to talk about. It was very dull, and it's so weird that a movie about vampires fighting werewolves could be dull. And
vampires. Yeah, I think we can think of one franchise that's really dull with vampires and werewolves in it.
This one has machine guns and that franchise doesn't. So that's like when the first Underworld came out in 2003, it did have that novelty factor where it's like, okay, it's taking the action of the Matrix and giving it a supernatural element, but 4 movies later, they really should just let this die. It was not good.
Well, if it makes money, it makes money. And they'll make more. Alright, let's go on to Moana.
The main event.
Yeah, the main event. By the way, I think I got cut off just now, so I'm sorry if I was super silent.
Oh no, that's okay. Yeah, you can edit that out, I guess.
Alright, let's go on to Moana. Jedd, what is Moana about?
Moana is the 56th animated feature film from Disney Animation, and it draws on Polynesian mythology, and the star of Moana, the titular character, is voiced by Ailuki Carvalho, and she's the daughter of Chief Tui, voiced by Tamura Morrison. and his wife Shira, voiced by Nicole Scherzinger. So the family lives on the Polynesian island of Motunui. And Tui insists that his daughter stay on the island so that she can eventually take over the duties of chief from him. But Moana has always been drawn by the call of the ocean since she was a little girl. And she is encouraged, her instincts are encouraged by her grandma Tala, voiced by Rachel House, much to Tui's chagrin. So one day the Motunui Islanders find their livelihoods threatened when the coconut trees fail to bear fruit and no fish can be caught. So Moana sets out on a journey to find the one person who can fix the situation. This is the demigod Maui, voiced by Dwayne Johnson. And with the help of his magical fish hook, he can shapeshift into various animals. So he's kind of conceited, and he has his conscience in the form of Mini Maui, a living tattoo that runs around his body. So they are accompanied by the none too bright rooster Hei Hei, voiced inexplicably by Alan Tudyk. And they,
well, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory why he is the voice. Lucky Charm.
It's just clucking noises. You don't need Alan anyway. So they embark on a quest to return a mystical artifact known as the Heart of Te Fiti, this jewel. So Moana doesn't like Maui, and Maui doesn't like Moana, but they need to work together to survive the arduous voyage and eventually defeat the deadly lava goddess Te Ka.
Well, I mean, you watched this before me and you told me that this film, it tries to invoke a lot of older Disney films, especially through the music.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I mean,
Yeah.
I love this film, but it is a beautiful, gorgeous film, but I don't think it's very creative and it doesn't have anything new to say. But I really love this film.
I mean, I have a friend who really, really liked the movie because of its feminist message, and it's because of kind of the way the character was personified. But go on.
Well, I mean, I really love this film. I cried at the end, which I guess is a good sign. But okay, yeah, I'll just talk about the positive stuff first. First of all, I think it's obviously because it's Disney. It's a beautiful film. It's gorgeous. And you can tell that they really want to bring back 2D animation, but no one's going to watch it, so they have to sneak in 2D animation inside the 3D films.
Yeah, they have to desperately find a way. And this is the first 3D animated film from Marcel Clemens, right? If we're not counting Treasure Planet.
Yeah, it is their first. So I think Princess and the Frog had some 3D.
Probably, doing Friends on the Other Side, I guess.
Yeah. But I mean, I think this is one of my least favorite Ron and
Clemens and Master movies.
Yeah, because
okay, let's go. Let's go through them. So there's Great Mouse Detective. There's Little Mermaid. There's
That's my least favorite. The songs are great, but I don't like the story.
You don't like Little Mermaid?
All.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard that from a lot of people, but that is one of my favorite Disney Renaissance films. I think that's what got me into it. That's something that I had a lot of in my childhood.
I think it has amazing songs and great characters, but the story is too much of Ariel is being an idiot.
Yeah, and I mean, you're 16. It's not gonna work, kid.
Yeah. But it's Disney, what are you gonna do? But I mean, Aladdin obviously is my favorite. I love Princess and the Frog. I love Treasure Planet.
Hercules?
Hercules is amazing. Hercules, it took me teenager to realize how great that film is. Yeah, because when I was a kid, I thought it wasn't Disney enough.
I see. Yeah, it is a little bit weird in their influences, the style, and I think some of it doesn't work, but I like the voice cast very much, and I like the songs.
And the villain is great. It's typical Disney where the villain is sometimes a lot better than the main character.
Yeah, and they were kind of deconstructing the pure action hero, because Hercules is a classical action hero. He's a precursor to Superman in a way.
Yeah. Okay, but anyway, back to Moana. So Moana, I think, is my either second, well, I guess third least favorite, because I don't remember Great Mouse Detective that much, but I don't remember enjoying it quite a lot. Okay. But I liked it more than I liked Little Mermaid.
Alright, yeah.
Yeah, so, I still love this film, but there's not a lot of interesting characters. I guess Moana is great, and Maui, he's discount genie. So
in a sense, yeah, I can see where you're coming from. So yeah, I do agree with you in that this is a classic hero's journey story. There's a MacGuffin, you have to bring the X to the Y and complete the Z. So that's the structure, and along the way, you come across obstacles, you face off against minor villains, and it's very episodic because you're just going from place to place to place. So the middle part of the movie, I would not say there's a lull, but I would say like it becomes a little disconnected.
Yeah.
Because you lose sight of the goal. And then finally, when you have the climax, it's a great like ending battle, and there's a nice resolution, but you kind of feel that it's not surprising enough, even though there's maybe a twist or two.
Yeah, I think what you said was right. It didn't feel like a film. It felt more like... you can just watch one part and they'll be okay. Like, oh, that's the end of the episode type.
Yeah,
it's not
episodic.
like Zootopia. It's not like Zootopia where it's just one huge mystery and one thing leads to another.
Yeah.
It just felt like we have this action set piece, which isn't even that great. We have this action set piece and then they're just going through it. And even the songs aren't that great. In my opinion,
I was really disappointed by the songs, I have to tell you. And I have friends who are massive fans of Lin-Manuel Miranda and will defend him to the death. So I do have friends who are kind of very disappointed in me for not liking the songs. But I was kind of shocked by how much I did not like the songs. And I don't think they're terrible, but I think it takes a while to grow on you. And we might as well get into this here. So the songs are by Lin-Manuel Miranda, Opatawai Foy from Te Baka, the Oceanic music group, and Mark Mantina. Mark Mantina did the scores for action movies like Speed in the 90s. So I don't think there is a song here with a great hook. I don't think there's anything that instantly gets you like a whole new world.
I will say this. You're Welcome is amazing. I love that song because it is written by Lin-Manuel. So I wasn't too surprised when that was my favorite, but he didn't write the main song, which is How Far I'll Go. But I think that How Far I'll Go has a very good instrumental. Music-wise, it's really good, but the lyrics are not good.
He wrote the lyrics to How Far I'll Go.
Oh,
Lin-Manuel.
Lin-Manuel?
Yeah.
Well, that's a little bit disappointing.
I think
he did Hamilton.
He did Hamilton. He wrote all the lyrics, but not all of the music. That's how it breaks down. How Far I'll Go is... It really frustrated me when I first heard it because it takes elements of several I Want songs that are a lot better. The first thought that hit me was, this is just around the riverband crossed with reflection.
Just around the riverband. Yes, exactly.
Crossed with reflection.
Yes, me too. That's what I wrote here. How Far I'll Go sounds like Christian pop music mixed with reflection and just around the riverband. Like, seriously, go and listen to How Far I'll Go and listen to any Christian pop music you can think of. Or, just go to like a youth Christian
Hillsong
worship
United
place.
kind of thing.
And it sounds exactly like that. Like, oh dang it, I can't remember the song right now. But when the guitar kicks in, that's when it sounds exactly like Christian pop music.
See the line where the sky meets the sea, it calls me, and no one knows how far it goes.
It sounds just like Christian music.
And also it frustrates me that they have no word for horizon. They should have a word for horizon. The line where the sky meets the sea is called the horizon.
and the one where she rhymed water with something else, I forgot, and I was like, what?
It's very, very frustrating, but nothing is as terrible as the hideous radio mix. Over the end credits, there's this terrible, awful radio version of How Far I'll Go. And I forgot who the Disney Channel singer who sings it is, but she's so bad. And in the music video, she looks angry. This singer. I need to Google it because I'm not up to date with my current Disney
Channel star.
Yeah, but I'll have it for you in a second.
Here's the line I hate the most from the song. I wish I could be the perfect daughter, but I come back to the water.
Yeah, and
what
also,
kind of lyrics is that,
when you
Disney?
sing perfect
Come on.
daughter, you immediately invoke reflection.
Yeah, but at the same time, you don't write. It's Mother Goose rhyming. It's so bad.
Yeah. It's like Glenn Slater when he rhymed door with floor in the Phantom of the Opera sequel.
I think I'll associate this song with. I'll give the song's credit where it's very catchy, but the lyrics are kind of bad.
Alicia
so I'll
Cara,
say it's more like
is the one
straight.
who sang.
I'll say it's more straight to DVD songs where I'm not sure whether you've watched like The Little Mermaid 2.
Lion King 2 Simba's Pride.
I like that one. But in
Return of
Little Mermaid
Jafar.
2, there's this song where she's like singing about how here I am for a moment, life is cool. I like that song, but the lyrics are terrible. But it's just very catchy. I think that's how I would explain what these songs are to me. And I was so upset because there was this character voiced by Jermaine Clement.
Ah, yes. That's
And
the worst part of the movie. I hated
Well,
that part of the film.
I thought it was okay because it was Jermaine Clement, but I was so disappointed that he didn't write the lyrics to it because I was like so looking forward to it because I
To a
love Flight of the
Concordian-
Conchords.
Yeah.
And I love the songs in Man on Muppet where the lyrics are bad, but in a way where they're self-aware that it's bad.
Oh, do you mean the Muppet movie, the Jason Segel Muppet?
Yeah, like, am I a man or am I a Muppet?
Yeah, that's a great song.
It's amazing. And Life is a Happy Song.
Oh,
I love that
that's
song.
a good movie. I mean, that's like ascended fanboy stuff. I'm very happy they let Jason Segel do what he wanted to do because it turned out great.
Yeah.
So Jermaine Clement is doing exactly the same performance as in Rio. 100%.
But Rio, he was so much better in Rio because he wrote the song.
Yeah, and the sequence with Tamatoa, it reminded me a lot of the sequence with the giant skeleton in Kubo and the Two Strings, which was a lot better, which was a lot scarier.
Yeah.
Because it was the same thing where you had to get to the MacGuffin and it's stuck on top of a giant something or other, which is going to get up and fight you.
I feel like I think both of us really like the movie, but we're shitting on it a lot for some reason.
Yeah,
I
mean, okay, I'm
get to
going to
the good
rationalize it this way, alright? I think expectations were very high, as far as I'm concerned, with the music because of Lin-Manuel Miranda, because he swept the freaking Tonys, and he's gonna do everything forever from now on. He's attached to 50 different things. He's gonna do the new Little Mermaid and so on and so forth. So we are going to have Lin-Manuel Miranda like installed in Disney. Like they're gonna put him alongside the couple who did the Frozen songs.
Oh, even Frozen had better lyrics
Frozen
than
much
that.
better songs. Let It Go. I mean, I think Let It Go is overexposed, but it's not overrated. I say that of Frozen as a whole. I think that nobody is saying Frozen is perfect, but Frozen is everywhere. So that's why people kind of hate it.
Yep.
Yeah, so that is... I think that's like my thoughts on Frozen in one sentence. Let It Go has a hook. Let it go, can't hold it back anymore. That's a hook.
The cold doesn't bother me anyway, or never bothered me. I forgot.
Yeah, the cold doesn't bother me anyway, and even like Love is an Open Door. Look, I've never listened to that in ages.
And we finish each other's sandwiches. That's what I was gonna say.
It's funny. It's a lot wittier, I think. I don't think the songs in Moana were witty. I don't think there's anything very clever. And in fact,
and even Tangled had better lyrics than that.
Yeah,
and I'll
Tangled
go
was
running
Glenn
and
Slater.
racing and chasing and I don't know the rest, but it's really good. And
Yeah.
I See the Light always makes me cry every time I listen
too.
to it,
Yeah, I
even though it's
broke
the
in-
same lyric. But it's
Yeah.
it's good because it portrays what the character feels and it doesn't sound cheesy.
I
like
love it
How
so
Far
much.
I'll Go.
Yeah, I love it so much with when the first time I saw Tangled. When I think I started crying when it was revealed that Flynn had prepared his own lantern. I was like, no, don't do it. And then he took out his own lantern. So,
And I cried when the parents released the lantern and then she was the one she touched that lantern.
Then they intercut it. Oh yeah. Oh, that's a beautiful sequence. So okay, another thing I think this is lacking is we didn't get a duet, and I understand that they didn't want to have a romantic ballad. But I wanted them to do something like, anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you. Yeah.
Yeah.
From any
I agree.
And,
Especially when they had that montage sequence, right?
Yes. They needed like Moana and Maui to argue in song form, which Lin-Manuel can do very well if you've heard Hamilton. Hamilton is 2 hours of people arguing in song form.
I really love the songs in Hamilton, and I think the lyrics are just amazing. So I was really disappointed when I heard water rhymed with daughter.
Yeah, and I think part of it can be explained psychologically that Lin-Manuel Miranda feels the burden of having to live up to certain songs that he has been inspired by and has grown up with, and he's taking this on as a fanboy, and I think that is where sometimes there's a danger in having a fan be involved creatively in something that they're a fan of, because they'll feel that pressure and they'll be very self-conscious about it. And I think that this is what happened here.
Okay, let's talk about the characters, which I think are one of the best parts of the film.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I really love Moana because, like your friend said, there's a feminist message in it, and I really agree. I think feminism is an amazing thing, and it's the reason why I can do what I do today, because without feminism, I don't think I can even talk, because that's not allowed. Because girls,
definitely.
all they have to do is raise babies. But I really like how she has flaws. Okay, here's the difference between why I like her versus why I don't like Merida.
Okay, let's hear
Merida
this.
is she's too headstrong. Like, she doesn't listen to opinions, and she's like, oh, I don't want to get married and stuff like that. And it's so obvious what they're trying to do.
Yeah,
and Moana,
it's more
she's
in
more
your
like,
face.
Yeah, and Moana, she's more like she loves, and she's very selfless in what she does, and she's not trying to prove anything. She just wants to do something because she thinks that it's good and it's for the better. And I feel like Merida, she's too much. It's the same as Korra, where they're too complaining and whiny to the point where you kind of don't want to root for them because they don't listen to opinions, and they voice out their opinion in such a way where it's almost condescending towards anyone they're talking to, which I do not like. And she's and Moana, she's not a Mary Sue, she doesn't know anything about sailing, but she tries her best. And it's not like Merida with the bow, where, oh, I'm just so good at bow. I mean, I'm so good at archery, and that doesn't really help in the movie at all.
Yeah, she's like a superhuman archer. Yeah, I think
she's just good at archery because, feminism, I guess.
Yeah, that was the year where I think archery schools saw a great uptick, because you had Hawkeye and you had Katniss and you had Merida in the same year in 2012. Yeah. So I think that sent a lot of kids to archery school.
And I also like how Moana, even though she doesn't have that, how do I say this? She's a strong, independent woman, and she is self-reliant, but she doesn't close herself off to needing help. When she needs help, she's not afraid to admit that. And I think that is what makes a good character. Because your character cannot be perfect, or else the character would be boring, and because your character is boring, you can't relate to that character at all. But you have Moana, who doesn't know much about sailing, so she says, hey, can you teach me how to sail? Because if she was Merida, she probably knows how to do it immediately, and she doesn't have any flaws because she's a woman. I don't know. I don't like that.
Yeah, I do totally agree with you. I think that this is one of the best written and best realized characters that we have seen from Disney in the Princess lineup. And I guess why this works is because the fact that she does not have a romantic interest is not made that big a deal. It's just a romantic interest does not show up, so that's not an issue. So she just carries on with the story as normal. Fine. You don't have to call attention to it and say, hey, look over here, there's no boy. Which is what Merida did, I guess.
And also, what do I want to say? Oh, I really love how in the past few years, or past 5 movies, I guess, romance isn't a huge thing. So we have Wreck-It Ralph. There is some romance in that, but it's not the big thing. It's not the friendship between Ralph and Vanellope. And then we have Frozen, which is about sisterhood. We have Big Hero 6, which is about brotherhood and friendship.
Yeah, friendship.
And then we have Zootopia. Arguably, there's some romance in there, but to me, I just saw friendship. And now Moana, which is also about friendship, and there's some like father-daughter relationship going on as well.
Yeah, and grandma-granddaughter bonding stuff. Which I think what they did is, first of all, they established that Moana's reasons for doing what she does are quite selfless. It is an act of sacrifice. She's putting herself out there to ensure the continuity of her people. So there's a nobility in that. She's not doing it for selfish reasons, even though she is following her passion and where her heart leads.
And she's not being like, oh, I must prove to my father that I'm not just a girl.
Yeah, which I thought was where they were gonna go. Yeah, and the other thing is that they established the relationships she has with her grandmother and with the ocean is what I really like. I like the idea of personifying the ocean and saying the ocean is my friend in a way that it is reminiscent of Pocahontas' connection to nature, but I liked how they made the ocean playful and they gave the ocean antics, and so it was like the ocean was an extra sidekick to her.
Mm-hmm.
And the stuff they did with this is some of the best animated water I've ever seen in this and in Piper. The water sims are so nice.
I can't honestly, for the life of me, I will never be able to understand water animation or
No, yeah,
simulation.
I don't
because
get it.
it's ridiculously
Yeah,
hard.
it's like alchemy or some sort of witchcraft.
In animation, the hardest thing to do is water because water moves in a specific way, but you can't. It's really hard to tell how it moves.
Yeah, and
You know,
once
there's a shot in How to Train Your Dragon where Hiccup was trying to. It was the two-headed dragons, and then Hiccup had to throw the water to that dragon. Apparently, that shot took like them almost. Well, I'm probably saying it wrong, but that was one of the hardest shots. Just getting that water right, getting it
fly
to
out
like
of
get
the
out of
bucket.
get out of the bucket and then float on the floor.
I see. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that, but that makes a lot of sense now that you've said it. And this movie is 80% water. There's water
Yep.
everywhere, so it is a technical achievement in that
And
regard.
it's not even like stylized water like Wind Waker. It actually looks like water.
Yeah, it looks like photoreal water, and I my jaw was like on the floor the whole time. Anything water related happened, which is most of the film. I was like, this is nuts. It's really beautiful, and I like how much personality they gave the ocean. And when you personify the ocean, when you say, oh, there's an ocean spirit or there's an ocean god, it can make it sound very impersonal. It can make it sound like it's not necessarily friendly, but they made an effort to make the ocean friendly, which I thought was a nice touch.
And I also like how they teased that she was like the chosen one,
Uh-huh.
and they kept making fun of her for being the chosen one when she thought that she was incapable of being, the chosen one because she only knows what she wants to do, but she doesn't know how to get from
do
pen.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like I always say I want to be a screenwriter, but if you throw me in the middle of Hollywood and you make me write something, I'm not going to be able to do it. So that's what I would relate that to, and I think that the relationship between her and Maui, I like the development, but it is a bit tedious. They do go back and forth quite a lot. Like, I think it takes a while before it gets anywhere meaningful. I know that it has to, but here's the thing, like, the disagreements that Ginnifer Goodwin and Jason Bateman had in Zootopia, I like that relationship a lot better. I think that relationship progressed a lot more satisfyingly for me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Zootopia is a much better film than this, but Zootopia is an amazing film, so I can't really blame Moana for not living up to that expectation.
Yeah,
And also, it's also Zootopia's fault that I had so much expectations for Moana.
it is. It very much is, because Zootopia was very underdoggy. It was not the hyped thing. Moana was the hyped thing because it was the princess.
And yet it made
movie.
$1 billion because it's Disney.
Yeah, that's I will never understand that. But I mean, I don't think Disney has had an animated flop after Tangled, right? Everything after Tangled.
No. Winnie the Pooh flopped. That's the end of 2D animation.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because Winnie the Pooh was like the next year after Tangled or that year.
Yeah,
that's
and
right. That's right. I totally
it
forgot
competed with Harry Potter.
about- Oh crap! Yeah, Deathly Hallows Part 2 or something like that, right?
Yep.
No,
it was
yeah.
part 2.
That's the one with Zooey Deschanel singing the song. I like the song.
Yes.
So long.
I didn't know she was
It's
in
been
that,
so
so I
long
just said yes.
Since I've had a friend like you. Anyway, yeah. So there's some humor in this film that I did not like. I think that there were very, very random pop culture references where it wasn't throughout, but when they did it, it felt like suddenly they let a DreamWorks writer into the room.
Oh, well, I like the tweeting one if that's what you're talking about.
Didn't like that because it
I
felt
like
like
that.
very out of place. Like, I think I like the grandma's jokes. I like, blame it on the pig. I like her being Grandmother Willowy, basically. The thing about the tattoo, I thought that was funny. But, yeah, and then there's a big reference to The Little Mermaid with
I like that! We can't spoil that, by the way.
No, we can't spoil that, yeah, but there's a reference at one point to The Little Mermaid that is very obvious, so you won't miss it.
Well, he made it very obvious.
Yes, yeah, they like in the place where it appears, you can't miss it. At the same time, yeah, what did you think of the humor? I like the visual gags. I like the stuff with the water. I love her hair hitting her in the face when she dramatically spins around to confront Maui, and the hair flops in her face.
That one had weird animation timing, by the way, but I thought it was okay. It wasn't laugh out loud funny, but I was smiling every time they tried to tell a joke. So there wasn't any cringy ones. I really liked that tweet joke, by the way. I laughed very hard at that.
I laughed at everything to do with the stupid rooster. I don't know why, but it's not very smart, but it got me. I think it was like every time the rooster did something, it really really got me.
Well, I don't recall like laughing a lot, but I also don't recall any jokes where I just rolled my eyes and went, "This is a DreamWorks joke."
Which you did a lot during shows, I would imagine.
Yes, I did that. Okay, you know what? I feel like when I talk to different people, I have different opinions of trolls. Like, I come off as hating it a lot in the previous podcast episode.
Right.
But when I talked to my other friend who also watched Trolls and liked it, we talked about the really good parts. And we had a lot of fun talking about it.
I see.
So it is redeemable, but it's not great.
I understand that. No, yeah, I don't think it is. If you have competent people behind anything, I don't think it's 100% irredeemable. So even if your heart is not there, you still have the skill to pull off a certain amount of things. So that's how it is for like even any big blockbuster. Even if it's just like a crappy story, maybe the effects are good. Maybe some of the action is well done. So there's always that, and I think that you have that in animated movies too.
Okay, I'll be honest. I love Disney like crazy. I go Disneyland and then I cry because I'm a Disney fan. But honestly,
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing in agreement.
I honestly don't think Disney can do action well.
All right. Yeah.
And
I like the Zootopia action though.
Zootopia.
The chase with the train. I like that. The tiny train in the model city.
Oh, I mean, it's alright. But I thought like there was one part that was very Mad Max Fury Road. That was pretty fun.
The Katamora fight. Yeah, that was totally... it was half Mad Max and half Minions.
Oh, well, I felt it was more Mad Max to me, especially when they started playing instruments.
Yeah, when they were jumping up and down on the drum and they had like a giant war vessel. But the gag where like one of them hit the other one with the blow dart, that was very Minions-y.
Oh. I mean, I felt like that was more Looney Tunes than Minions.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. I really... I don't think any action set piece stood out to me. Except the Mad Max Fury Road one, because that reminded me of Mad Max Fury Road.
I like that.
Do you know that Baymax was in that scene?
Where?
Like, he was one of those tiny things, but like, because they all had holes in their eyes, right?
Oh,
there was one
so
where
he
there
was
was a
one
line.
of the Kakamora. Okay, they hid Baymax in there. That's fun. Let's do like hidden Baymaxes instead of hidden Mickeys from now on. Come on.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, put Baymax in everything.
I love Big Hero 6.
Oh.
I know, like that's like a lot of people's least favorite Disney Renaissance movie, but right. I really like that one.
Re-Renaissance. So what are we calling the post-Tangled era? There's a name.
This is called the second Renaissance.
Okay, the second Renaissance. Cool, that works. I like that. I'm trying to think what is my least favorite second Renaissance movie. I don't know. I like all of
Tangled because I don't like how she has this random power and it's not explained. Okay. And a lot of it... Okay, you know what? Never mind. I'm not gonna rant about
we're gonna
Frozen.
go down a rabbit hole where that is concerned. Okay, so before we go into spoilers, I wanted to just do something very, very crass. But anyway, the reason why there are no female wayfinders in oceanic culture is because one of the methods that the wayfinders would use is they would stick their balls in the ocean to detect the swells of the waves, and that's how they knew how to navigate. So Moana could not have stuck her balls in the ocean. It's something which is not addressed in the film. I was so tempted to stand up during the press conference and say, by the way, but I would have never seen the inside of a press conference ever again.
and also because you've put that mental image into my head, and I love Wind Waker. Now I think of Link, and now I
Link is
sticking
his balls
because he's a kid.
I don't think there's a sexual element to it, but this is an actual thing.
The balls. Yeah. Okay, never mind. That went the wrong direction. But both of us, we recommend this film. It's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, and the reason why we are hard on it is because it's Disney.
Of expectations.
Yes, because of the expectations. Yeah, it's not a bad movie at all.
Yeah, and I feel like we weren't that hard on it. I think we just were nitpicky.
Yeah, and
more
we
than
have
anything.
reasonable points. I think you will find people online saying pretty much the same thing about the music, about the structure, and so on.
Yeah. Alright. You're welcome. Alright, let's go to the spoilers.
Spoilers!
I'm surprised Moana's dad didn't die.
Yeah. I'm surprised either the mom or the dad didn't die, because I thought they would do the. I mean, they would.
It's Disney, right?
Yeah, Disney did parent prologue, which is what
And-
Godzilla had as well. I leaned over to my brother during Godzilla. I was like, "Is this the dead mother prologue?"
And also because the father was like, oh, one day when you become chief, you will put your stone here. And I'm like, oh, well.
That's how it's ending. Yeah, it's gonna
Yeah.
end with him dead, and then she puts it on there. And her dad
So
is
basically How to Train Your Dragon 2.
yes, her dad is Django Fett. Tamura Morrison
As in Clone Wars or in
in the movies.
actual
Yeah, live
Star Wars?
action Django
okay.
Fett. Yeah, he's a Maori actor. So I was joking with my friend, like, Moana comes home to a family reunion, and here are your 5 million brothers.
Oh, and they all look alike.
Hey!
Oh, did you know that Moana, it was a very different story. So apparently, I followed this movie from day one because Disney fan.
Mhm,
And
animator. Yep.
well, it's not animated, it's more like Disney fan. I really wish it was the animator thing because that will make me feel more professional. But
say it's
so
both.
Moana-
Say it's both.
oh, it's both. Moana, I'm lying. I'm Pinocchio right now. But anyway, Moana was supposed to have 6 brothers and a father. It was supposed to have that, oh, she's the only girl in the family angle.
I see. Okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
and apparently her brothers and her father goes missing, and so she has to go out and look for
And
them, and
rescue
then she
them,
meets
okay.
Maui.
I see.
Yeah. So it was supposed to have that kind of angle, but honestly, I prefer this angle
Yeah, I think
because
it gives her.
it feels a lot more selfless, and she wants to save the whole world, I guess.
Yeah, it
or
gives
her
her
village.
it gives her more agency, I suppose, in that her actions are not dictated by the circumstances of other characters. It's dictated by a larger, more abstract threat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that about the original storyline. So thanks for pointing that out. That makes
I
sense.
think there were also a lot more characters in this film. I forgot. I think Maui had someone else with him, but I can't remember.
I know that at one point Hey Hey was supposed to be smart. They wrote the rooster smart and it didn't work, so just wrote the rooster super dumb and then it started working.
And it will work because kids are gonna buy that. I'm surprised the pig is not, the secondary character.
I was very sad because the pig is super adorable, but apparently
Yeah.
the pig is supposed to represent homesickness.
Oh.
Yeah. That it's
What?
something for her to get back to, that it's a part of her that's left at home. That is the
Well,
world
I
of
didn't
Noah.
even get to that
I,
conclusion.
I think it was an interview with Clemens and Master. Like, one of my friends who's also a big Disney head told me about that later. I didn't get to that conclusion either.
What do we call? Oh, we're called
This nerds.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get it right, Jedd.
Sorry, Disney hits.
Disney hits.
I think because I've been saying Potter hits recently, so that's where that came from. Yeah,
okay.
This nerds.
I love the name Potter hits. It's amazing.
Yeah, because pothead, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, so big twist wise, what did you think of the reveal of Keika's identity?
I thought she was pretty. I like that she. Have you heard of this term called talk no jutsu?
No, I have not.
Okay, so in Naruto, I've never seen or read Naruto except for the first 100 chapters, but apparently in Naruto, he manages to talk to people who have this like mentality for I don't know how many years, and he talks to them and they suddenly have a change of heart. So instead of talk no jutsu, she sung no jutsu her way out. And she's like,
okay.
oh, remember who you are. And then she gave her the heart thing. I thought it was very sweet. It was very poignant. I liked it. Because Disney can't do action, so I'm very glad that they went for the emotional route.
It reminded me a lot of that segment in the Firebird Suite segment in Fantasia 2000, which was, if you remember in Fantasia 2000, there was this forest sprite. And so that's what it reminded me of.
Okay, that's interesting. I didn't think of that.
It also reminded me of Lava, which ran in front of Inside Out.
Oh yes, I wanted to say that. Hang on, I said it here. I guess I deleted it. Hang on, I wrote something here. I was ranting about Lava. Oh, never mind, I didn't write it. But anyway, Lava sucked. And I'm glad that this was really beautiful. I love that.
I loved Lava. I mean, it had me
I
like...
hate that the song is stuck in my... It's still stuck in my head.
It had me in a complete emotional mess. Like, I was in a very, very bad place to start Inside Out because I was already sobbing. And then Inside Out just kept me crying. So I was like very weepy during that entire session.
Oh, well, Lava made me really angry. So Inside Out came out and I was okay again. But I still can't get that song. I still can't get that song stuck. I mean, I still can't get that song out of my head. It's stuck. It won't move. It's so annoying.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. No, I like Lava. I mean, a lot of people were upset about the disparity in the physicality of the man and the woman, but I think that it was a reference to Isro Kamakawi Ole and his wife, who do look like that.
Yeah. Anyway, is it Tefiti? Tefiti. I'm sorry.
Trifidi.
So Tefiti, when she turned into a beautiful island and rested her head, she looked like a mountain. And I really like that because I think there's a lot of... Oh, I'm not sure. I've only been to 2 of them. But there's a place in Langkawi where if you go into the ocean, there is this mountain that looks like it's a woman sleeping. And I'm pretty sure that's the way for a lot of islands.
Right, yeah.
And I really like that they brought that.
That at one point of time, this was a goddess, this was a god, and then they found peace.
And now she's sleeping.
And that's their resting place,
Which is kind of scary.
Because you're walking all over a sleeping goddess, if you're climbing the mountain.
Like, can you imagine, like, no, you're on the boat, right? And then you suddenly see this eyes opening and, like, these pupils staring right at you. It's so creepy.
Skull Island!
Oh, yeah. Yeah, anyway, it looks great. And I like her little, like, looks when she gave Maui. I love how she's, like, smiling at Moana, and then after that she looks at Maui and gives that, look. That was really cute.
Like, I think the visual gag that I probably liked the most was Shark Head.
Oh,
because they just treated it so deadpan, and it's just walking around like, I thought that was really funny. This was Shark Head.
I forgot what my favorite moment was. Hang on, okay. You continue talking about spoilers while I think.
Yeah, okay, so I was really, really disappointed by Tamatoa by the Giant Crab, as we said earlier, because it felt to me like it was so much a designated supporting villain who is intended to steal the show, and this is automatically supposed to be the most popular character that everyone walks out of the theater talking about. But it felt like that was so designed that when we got to that moment and he started doing Shiny, and I know the influences, I know it's supposed to be a David Bowie song, but all it registered in my head was that this is Poor Unfortunate Souls. Was what his song was.
Yes. Oh, okay. You know what? I love that both of us understand like which songs represent which song. I was like, this is Poor Unfortunate Souls.
Both of us are super geeks with this stuff. I mean, you more so than me.
I'm a Disney geek more, but you're an all rounder. Like you know, the moment I think like he saw Maui trying to leave, and then he sang that part. I turned to the person I was watching with and went, Poor Unfortunate Souls.
Yeah, he turns around and goes like, so.
Yeah.
It's something like that, right? Yeah, and I mean, it's such a waste of a Jermaine Clement because he is doing basically budget Tim Curry.
And the thing is, Jermaine Clement, he is an amazing lyricist as well, an amazing songwriter. So I really talented. Thought that he was going to write this song. Like, I loved his song in Rio.
Oh yeah.
It was like classic Flight of the Conchords.
Yes, the one where he's actually eating like a bird, right, during the song. Yeah. And he's talking about pooping on people's heads.
And he's like, I don't know, like there were these birds and they started singing with him.
Yeah.
Never mind.
And in the second one, he had a duet with Kristen Chenoweth Frog, which is really fun. It was like a Phantom of the Opera sort of number. It was really fun. Yeah. Kristen
I don't remember
Chenoweth
them
Frog.
as much though.
Yeah, no, the first Rio is quite a bit better than the second Rio, but I don't mind the second Rio either.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it just like, I mean, putting Bruno Mars in there is very DreamWorksy.
I like it. It's the reason I watched it.
It's like putting Justin Timberlake in a thing.
But his song was amazing.
Yeah, he was good.
I loved it.
And I like the idea of him being like the guy who makes Jesse Eisenberg insecure. I thought that was funny.
And also, I like the part where he started freaking out.
Yeah, towards the end. Anyway, what other spoilers are there with Moana?
Not a lot, because it's a very typical Disney film. You know what's gonna happen.
It's a quest movie, and I guess the thing, like, there was a question that someone asked during the press conference, which is, what do you think Moana's boyfriend would be like if she should have one? So this was a woman who asked the question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's an odd.
Yeah.
Why would you ask that? Okay.
I think the reason, what I'm getting to is that it is so inbuilt that the Disney princess must have a prince, that there's some sort of dissonance that people maybe people don't get it when they see it.
I think it's not that. It's just that every other Hollywood film, there's always a love interest. It's not whether it's a Disney princess film or not. I mean, you look at DreamWorks stuff.
Right, yeah.
Hiccup had a girlfriend for some reason.
The built-in expectation.
Yeah.
Poe didn't get romantically involved with anybody, right, as far as
Well, I feel like
Tigers,
in the second movie, Tigers was hinted at.
Kinda, yeah.
But that kind of went away in the third one.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I'm trying to think. That's true. No, yeah, so I mean, like we said in the non-spoiler section, I do like how they handled it, where they didn't make it a point that there's no love interest. It's just that there is no love interest. It's just, we don't need to talk about it.
Yeah, and she's not trying to prove herself as a woman. She's trying to prove herself as a chief.
Yes, I like that as well, you see, because if there was 6 other brothers, it would be that she's trying, the brothers can't do what the daughter can do, and it would be that. And I guess I like that they avoided that.
Mm-hmm.
And did you like Grandma Tala? Do you think it was too much like a grandmother Willow type? Yeah.
It was, but I mean, I didn't mind her. She had, I mean, I guess they needed someone to encourage Moana, so she played that role, and she was cute for whatever it was.
And I like the manta ray tattoo and the gag that she's reincarnated as a manta ray.
I love the first part where she goes out into the sea, and then you know that the grandma died.
Yeah,
by seeing the manta ray go through the waves.
Super good. That was like really... the most emotional moment for me was that. Like, even more than her doing the Force Ghost thing later on, was just seeing the grandma's ghost swim into the water.
And then, I like the part where there's a chorus.
Okay.
Yeah, when the whole chorus is singing, that was really nice. I mean, but I think it's built in to sound nice. It's like, I don't like Hunchback of Notre Dame. I know you love that one.
Yeah,
but,
it's my favorite Renaissance
I'm not a
movie.
huge fan of that, but I love the first song.
Right.
The bells, 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 bells,
yes.
bells, bells.
Some say
and then it just makes you feel so good.
The city's the toll of the bells. A really clever rhyme by Stephen Schwartz.
Yeah, much better than... Okay, you know what I was going to say.
The daughter water thing.
I will never let Disney down on that. So bad.
Another thing that How Far I'll Go reminded me of is All I Ever Wanted. That's what reminded me of, isn't it?
From where?
From Prince of Egypt. I am the sovereign Prince of Egypt. The proud history that's shown on every wall. Surely this is all I've ever wanted. She's trying to like reassure herself of the things that are around her, and it's like, okay, I don't need more than this.
Yeah.
But I want more than this. So that, yeah.
Oh. I wasn't thinking of any DreamWorks films, so that didn't cross my mind.
The songs in Prince of Egypt are a little Disney-ish because of Stephen Schwartz, because it's Alan Menken's like writing partner.
Oh, I thought it was because of Wicked, but never mind. He did write Wicked, right?
Did Wicked after Prince of Egypt, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I love Wicked. Wicked has amazing lyrics.
Yep.
Okay, so
Defy Gravity is
like
the best Act 1 closer ever. Like,
yes.
Better than One Day More.
One day more, another day, another destiny.
A never-ending road to Calvary.
You see, that's how you rhyme. That's amazing rhyme right there.
Yeah. Oh, really,
you
really
don't
good.
force something to rhyme that way. Okay. I really love the post-credit, and you didn't.
No, yeah, it made me mad because it was
I laughed so hard.
I don't know why, but I felt like, okay, the post-credit for Frozen, I liked a lot. I thought that was like a subtle-ish joke, and it was more.
What was that?
It was the ice monster wearing the crown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it wasn't really linked to the main
Big Hero
plot.
6 was amazing. You gotta admit that.
Yes, because it was kind of making fun of the tradition of Marvel post-credit scenes, while at the same time making fun of the Marvel tradition of a Stan Lee cameo. And like the reveal, there was a reveal in that oh no, that's Fred's dad.
I wonder if they're gonna bring that to the Big Hero 6 TV series, but I highly doubt it.
Yeah, or maybe they'll have a sound alike, which would be lame, but maybe we'll do that. It's the Big
Oh yeah,
Hero
sorry,
6
you were
TV.
talking about the post credit.
Yeah, I don't know, because I don't like it when you don't have to work to find a reference. So
Oh.
yeah, because here is
Well, I love it because you don't have to work to find a reference. It's just like Sebastian. Yeah, I know that. That's fourth wall breaking right there.
I think that there are ways to break the fourth wall, and then there are ways not to. I mean, we had a lot of fourth wall breaking in Deadpool, and I think all of the Deadpool jokes were sufficiently witty in that none of it was just literally him going, "Hi, audience," you know, where that would be how you would write a fourth wall joke if you didn't have anything to go on. They had fourth wall break within a fourth wall break. That's 16 walls, which I thought was really funny. Here's an example of that kind of Easter egg, which I like. In the very recent crossover on CW, where they had Supergirl and Arrow and Flash.
Oh,
versus
you're
Tomorrow.
talking about the Superman thing, right?
Yes. That joke I thought was I mean, it's not subtle, but it's funny.
You get it.
Yeah, you get it, and it's not him saying, "I played Superman once," which is what, you know, Tomotawa announcing that if I had a Jamaican accent, you'd like me more was. I don't know why, but like that kind of put me in a bad mood, weirdly.
Oh. And it was the end of okay.
Yeah, like I was about to leave the theater like a little bit let down but not angry. And then that made me angry. Even though it is on the whole a really good movie.
What's your favorite second Disney Renaissance movie?
My second favorite Disney Renaissance movie?
No, as in your favorite. Oh, hang on.
Oh, okay,
Your
my favorite Disney
second
movie
Disney
from the
Renaissance.
second Renaissance.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, let's name them.
Tangled.
Tangled.
Okay, you know what? I'll start from Princess and the Frog.
Okay.
Princess and the Frog, Tangled. I guess We Need a Pooh,
Did not
Wreck-It
watch
Ralph,
that.
Frozen, Big Hero 6. You didn't watch Wreck-It Ralph?
No, I did not watch Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, and Zootopia and now Moana.
Okay, Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph too.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I'm thinking either Wreck-It Ralph or Zootopia because I love both of them so much.
Yeah, both are. I think Wreck-It Ralph.
Tugs the heartstrings more.
Yeah, in that the resolution, the denouement was not what you were expecting, but it had that kind of power, not just emotionally but visually. I thought it was a very powerful image of him plunging into the volcano.
I like
was not prepared for that.
Zootopia because it's an important film, but at the same time it's not heavy-handed.
Yeah, and I think that it had a really good story with which to deliver the message. It wasn't just a message hanging on nothing, which is what could have been. And yeah, it moved well. There was good pacing. You wanted to find out what happened next. There was a satisfying mystery to it. This Zootopia really surprised me because when I saw the first teaser trailers, it's just a lot of puns. And I was like, this doesn't look great. But I mean, I really was impressed by Zootopia.
Zootopia, yeah, I've seen it like 4 times. Still love it. I haven't watched. I think there's a director's commentary or this 1-hour documentary special that I haven't seen yet, and I should get on that really quickly because yeah. But so Moana, I think it's like my 4th favorite animated film of the year. I haven't seen Silent Voice yet, and this French film that I heard that was really good. But
I've not heard of either.
Silent Voice is about this deaf girl and this guy, and there's this French film. I don't know what it's about, but I heard it's really good.
Okay.
It was on the projector, but I couldn't see it. So.
And you haven't seen Sing, which you're not.
I'm not gonna watch Sing. Do you know that right before Zootopia, there was a trailer for Sing, and they literally spoiled everything. They spoiled that the father broke out of jail. I'm gonna say this because I don't want people to watch Sing.
They did.
Yeah, they showed and then they showed like the elephant who's really shy, and then they were singing. I don't know what song they were singing.
She's singing
but like
Hallelujah.
Yeah, they were singing Hallelujah, and then she started singing, and then it literally blew the roof or something.
Probably.
They spoiled that part.
Oh no!
So,
yeah,
Oh, that's not oh no about it. I don't care.
No, I mean, why would you cut a trailer like that together? Is it that
Because they know that the story is not what they're going for. They're only doing it because, they're Illumination pictures and people are gonna see and watch them because, I don't know, they're cute. They have minions in front. I don't understand why people like Illumination Studios that much. I shouldn't say that because maybe I want to work for them next time because I think their animation is amazing.
They're
But
gonna
the story is really sucky.
But you need to have a French name to work for Illumination. It's all
Really?
No, I'm kidding.
Well, so they're racist too. Thank you very much.
I'm kidding, but I mean their offices are in France, so all of the names
Oh.
at the end of the credits are French. So that's where the joke comes from. Anyway, they're probably like Korean timers or something. Anyway, I think Secret Life of Pets is fine. I like the action sequences in it a lot. And I think that it has a funny voice cast. Yeah, we are really derailed off of Moana.
So let's go on to Guardians of the Galaxy trailer. Have you seen it yet?
I am great. Yes, I did.
So cute.
He's not
I think
talking
Guardians
with Vin
is-
Diesel's voice, but I'm okay with that.
Guardians is probably my favorite Marvel film. I think I've confirmed that after watching this trailer because when I saw Civil War, I wasn't like, oh, I'm so glad to see Captain America and friends back again. But in Guardians, I'm like, oh, I miss everyone here.
Yeah. I totally agree with that feeling, and I'm very happy we finally have a look at Mantis, Complementia, and her backstory is super convoluted. So she is the daughter of an anti-hero, and she's half Vietnamese and half German, and she's raised by an alien cult in a temple in Vietnam to become a warrior goddess. So
She's the one that felt
the telepath.
what's it?
Sexual love.
Yeah, sexual feelings for Gamora.
I don't know whether or not that is like a stereotype Asian accent that she's doing.
No, I think it's just a weird accent.
Okay,
It's not Asian.
It's not a stereotype Asian accent because they didn't color her green in the comics. She's green, and I think because they already have a Gamora and a Drax, so they're like, can we get away with not painting her green? So just give her green clothes.
Honestly, I didn't like. I mean, I love Drax as a group, but not individually as a character. But in this, he's amazing.
It's like, ha 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 ha! She just told you your demon's not a
Demon's
secret.
not a secret.
Do me!
You must be so embarrassed right now. Do me next.
It's so funny. Also to sidetrack a little bit, there's this movie coming out that James Gunn wrote, The Belko Experiment, which you've heard of this, right?
Yeah, I think he posted it on his Facebook.
Yeah, I'm glad that he's still like keeping to his smaller horror roots while he's doing Guardians of the Galaxy. And the main actor in that is the third guy from 10 Cloverfield Lane, so I'm quite interested to see him in a leading role. Yeah.
Okay.
And
I
basically
like that movie.
the plot is that there's a corporation and some unknown force is telling them that if you don't kill each other, we'll kill you. So you need to kill like 3 of your co-workers, otherwise we'll kill 6 of you, and so on. It escalates, and all of them have like Suicide Squad bomb implants. So if they go off script, they'll be killed. So it's
they should do the Dark Knight way, which is no, they're not gonna do anything.
Yeah,
They won't
everybody
kill
shows
anyone.
it. And I think there's actually a scene in the trailer where they have a banner and they hang a banner outside to say we're being held hostage, and then the military shoots at them. So there's a huge conspiracy, and it's being written by James Gunn. So that movie has my interest, even though I'm not a huge horror guy. It looks like it'll be kind of gory.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not gonna watch that. It looks too scary for me.
Yeah, it does look scary. Do you like how Baby Groot looks and moves? Because we've seen him move a lot more.
Yes. Why would I not like that? I have a heart, Jedd.
I like his innocent face. Where he's just like looking so wide-eyed, and Rock is like, oh.
and I love, like, I know this is clearly for the trailers, but when he's running and then he grabs the guy and throws him off, whatever they were on.
Yeah.
It's so cute. I mean, it's dangerous, but it's cute. He's like, ah!
Yeah, because it's a cute thing being violent, which is never not funny.
And I think I love everyone. I'm just so happy that this film is coming back.
Yeah, it looks really funny, and I think that there's a bit of a danger in, like, who was it? Chris Pratt said this is going to be the biggest event movie you've ever seen. So I think there's a bit of a danger in them trying to top themselves too much, or going for bigger and better set pieces, bigger and better stunts. That kind of like comic book superhero blockbuster movie thing where you have to top the last one. So I hope they don't fall into that trap.
Well, I think they'll do fine.
Yeah, I think they probably will. I think that James Gunn knows what works with the first one. So it's about keeping enough of what works, but at the same time changing things up. So yeah. And
Baby Groot is awesome.
we don't know
He's
who,
gonna sell so much.
yeah, they're gonna like have plush toy Baby Groots and everything, and it's gonna like they'll probably have Baby Groot balloons that people will get during graduation.
Aw.
Make that, come on Disney, make that and then give me royalties. Anyway,
Speaking of, oh sorry, yes.
wait before you do that, I interrupted the segue. I'm so sorry. And anyway,
No, it's okay. It's okay.
yeah, we don't know who the main villain is yet, which is interesting. I thought we would know by now, but yeah, we don't know who that is.
I can't segue that, but so let's just go into the next one. Rob Letterman is going to direct the new Detective Pikachu movie. So Rob
Yes.
Letterman, he did I should have
Goosebumps,
researched on
Monsters
this.
vs. Aliens.
well, he didn't do that. He did the short for that.
Oh,
And Gulliver's Travel. The
right,
one with,
yeah, the one with Jack Black.
Jack
The
Black.
not good
I think he
one.
did one animated film, but I forgot, and it's not that great.
He didn't do Monsters vs. Aliens?
No, he did. He did a short for that, but he didn't do it.
Oh,
didn't do the
okay.
big movie.
I see, alright. He did one of like the associated shots. I got it. Okay.
Oh wait, did he? I don't know.
I don't
Anyway,
know.
oh, he did Shark's Tales.
Ah, okay. Alright, that makes
That was
sense.
bad.
Yeah, because everything he does must have Jack Black in it, which leads me to think Jack Black might be voicing Detective Pikachu.
I hope not. I love him, but jeez. Anyway, yeah, you're right. He did do Monsters vs. Aliens, which I really liked.
I like that too. I think it's really underrated. I think that it's got really funny characters, very memorable like set pieces, and yes, Seth Rogen's
my
best
favorite-
performance.
Yeah, and my favorite gag will always be her like trying to grab onto the roof, and then she falls down, and it's like, oh, she can reach the ground.
Yeah,
That was really
and then she's just like a few cm off. And Insectosaurus is a wonderful creation. This is like a really good idea. It's a fun movie.
Yeah, and
President Stephen
I,
Colbert. Oh, so many good things in the movie.
and Hugh Laurie being Hugh Laurie, but
Yes.
in animated form. That's always
Cockroach Hugh
fun.
Laurie. He's a PhD in dance.
So I think Rob Letterman, I like him a lot. Like I really enjoyed Goosebumps. I didn't like Gulliver's Travel, but
Yeah,
I
this
really
one
like
was
that.
okay.
Monsters vs. Aliens, but I didn't like Shark's
I
Tale.
didn't like
so
Shark's
he's like
Tale.
he's like 2 out of 4 for me.
Yeah, that's not bad odds. I mean, yeah, and you have like Alex Hirsch from Gravity Falls and Nicole Perlman from Guardians of the Galaxy writing this, so that's good people writing it.
And I think like, whatever you can say about Gulliver's Travel, it's really dumb. And Shark's Tale, it's also really dumb. But besides Shark's Tale, I think Gulliver's Travel, Goosebumps, and Monsters vs. Aliens, they have good energy.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I have a feeling Detective Pikachu may be alright. Like, it won't be, I don't know whether it'll be amazing.
Right.
but
Yeah. I think a lot rests on who they cast as Tim.
I think at most it'll be Angry Birds, which I surprisingly like.
Same here. Yeah. Did you like Angry Birds more than Trolls? Is the question I want to ask someone who's watchful.
They had their moments. Okay, I think I enjoyed Angry Birds as a whole.
Okay.
But I think Trolls had more emotional moments.
Yeah, that sounds fair. Okay.
Alright, so
Yeah.
let's go on. Rogue One, 2 of these are going to be Star Wars films related, but Rogue One is going to be a standalone Star Wars film because, New Hope doesn't exist. So what do you think of that?
That means they're not gonna do Rogue One 2.
Yeah.
Rogue 3. Rogue 1.5. No, I mean, the idea with these anthology films is I don't want it to be that each one has to have a sequel. Like we have to have Young Han Solo 2. Even if it lends itself to it. So I think the idea with the anthology format is to explore as many different formats and as many different corners of the universe as you can. But inevitably, there will be one of these anthologies that is successful enough to spin, and far enough from the canon, to spin off into its own thing.
Yeah, I think what they're trying to... Because there's a lot of characters in this, so I think they're probably going to make cameos in other films.
Most likely, yeah. And
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised...
and maybe one of them will have their own spin-off, like you said.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if, like, there was some sort of connection to of The Force Awakens in Rogue One. Like, I feel like we might see a young version of Max von Sydow's character in this, Lor Santaka, the guy who got beheaded in the beginning of Force Awakens. I would like to see a younger version of him, like, show up as one of the rebels in Rogue One.
Although we can't have the main character in the new Star Wars films because she's gonna be like, what, 40, 60 years older than she is? Unless they put a lot of makeup.
Right, yeah, Felicity Jones. And it's interesting because the new Star Wars films are like 3 for 3 all British female leads. Because you've got her, I mean, before that was Daisy Ridley, and then Emilia Clarke is a British female leading lady. And she was the only one of that whole long list of actresses considered for the leading lady role in Young Han Solo who is white. So everybody else, which, oh well.
I really hope it's because, she was the best and not because of other reasons.
I don't know. I mean, like, after watching her in Terminator Genesis, I really don't know. She was so bad.
To be fair, that film was pretty terrible.
I mean, Jason Clarke was okay in it. I think he came out fine.
It's alright.
Yeah. Terminator Genesis is so bad. It was like a fan film. Like a fan film that had somehow gotten Schwarzenegger to say yes to it.
Yep.
With Rogue One, I think the format is very much that it's going to be Saving Private Ryan in space, that he does in space, and I don't think I need a sequel to that. So, but who knows, I might get really attached to the characters and want to see them have ongoing adventures. I think they might have like a sequel comic book series. I think that they're going to do that. Yeah, probably. Maybe have some of those characters show up in Rebels. I mean, I don't think it's earth-shattering news that there won't be a Rogue One 2. Because there's already so many other things lined up for them to move ahead on.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, so, okay. I think we have become conditioned that we will question a sequel for everything now. And this is like a sequel within a spin-off within...
It's a prequel within the sequel within...
Hit explode. Yeah, kinda, but... I'm looking forward to it though. I don't...
When are you gonna watch it?
The 13th. So I think that's like a couple of days before it comes out.
Yeah. Well, I hope you like it as a Star Wars fan. I hope I like it as a non-Star Wars fan.
Yeah, I'm...
It looks okay.
I like the format. I think that this is a no-brainer. Do a war movie within Star Wars. So it's a plucky band of spies who have to go behind enemy lines to complete the mission. I think that there's like not a lot of room to get stuff terribly wrong in that format.
Yep. Alright, let's go on to movies next week.
La La Land comes out next week.
In 2 weeks. Well, La La Land is coming out next week. Sing. Not gonna watch that. And then, of course, our next podcast will be about Rogue One.
Oh, okay. So we won't be doing one about La La Land in between.
No.
Okay.
We can talk about it
probably
when we have time.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Okay, so that's our show for this week. And,
stuff.
Please watch Moana, even though
even though it sounds like we really didn't like it. We liked it enough.
Yeah, in fact, I really loved it. Like I said, I cried at the end because I was very touched.
Yeah, it's just the hype. It's just the hype. Alright, thanks for having me on as always. And thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Bye.